Alright, welcome back. I got both flaps done. Here's the second one. Only took me about 2 or 3 minutes after I shut off the video. So I probably should have just kept it running so y'all could watch again. But that's hindsight, 2020. Alright, so I mentioned to you guys, I'd show you what I do with my excess resin. See, there's only a couple of grams. It's starting to get a little thicker now. So I kind of got to work a little quicker. But what I do is I just take some regular old denatured alcohol from Home Depot. Should probably put it in a smaller container to do this, but we'll see how much of a mess I make. So I just take a little bit of denatured alcohol and I pour it in there. I probably put way too much. Oops. Oh well, I just cleaned the workbench. It'll evaporate. So just a little bit of denatured alcohol, then we'll mix it up in there in the resin. What it's going to do is it's going to thin the resin to even more so than it was before. So it's just almost a watery consistency. And since my particular Firewall is going to have a Seidel radial engine on it, I got to fuel proof everything like you would with a typical glow engine. So that's what that's going to be used for. Just a little bit of denatured alcohol mixed in with a regular resin. You can also use paste or Z-epoxy to do it. It works just as well with that. And take the brush that I used before. I kind of dab it in there a little bit just to work some of that mixture in and some of that normal epoxy out. And what I'll do is I'll just take it and I'll brush the Firewall on with it. Typically with Firewalls, I'm pretty generous. Anywhere that's going to have a lot of fuel residue get to it, I try and be really generous with this stuff. Notice there's no holes for fuel fittings or fuel lines or throttle cable or anything. I always do that kind of last. And when I actually drill those, I'll use thin CA to harden and fuel proof those. So I just brush this everywhere to fuel proof it. I know a lot of guys say even with gasoline engines you don't have to do this. I'm kind of in the mindset, I've always been taught, if it's something that can soak up some sort of liquid, and I don't know of any wood that doesn't soak up a liquid, you should fuel proof it. It's only a few more grams, maybe a couple ounces over an entire airplane. And I think it actually helps make the airplane last longer. So I'll brush that on the Firewall. And this particular airplane has a removable gun hood that actually hinges up just like the real one. You can see all the structure under that. I've actually got a detail kit that includes a couple of guns and some boxes and cylinders and wire and tubing. So I'll actually I brush this on up here too. And I do the same thing on the inside where the fuel tank is. Anything that's of dire importance, like the back side of the Firewall, the fuel tank mount, the wing mount, pretty much everything inside the airplane. Near the fuel tank I do the same. I mix it a little thinner for inside just because it's on the inside, and if everything goes well, it shouldn't you shouldn't need it. But you know how that goes. Seems like if you don't need it, or you didn't do it, This is one you wish you would have and you needed it. This area up here is also going to get painted, so it's going to... I'm putting it on a little thinner than usual on the plywood parts. So that's part 2 of my fiberglassing technique for wooden structures. When I get the top side of the flaps dried and cured, which hopefully it'll be tomorrow, I'll make sure to take them inside tonight so they can dry in there. I'll pop the camera back up, and we'll basically repeat the same process for taking the top off, with a couple of differences for opening up the open areas. So until then, you guys have a good night, and we will see you back later. Bye.